Here we are live. We're doing the post show. I'm joined by Derek, but you're always in the chat, Derek. But now you're actually in here. How's it going?
I said I wasn't going to come on until I won something. That hasn't happened yet. So,
Well, you've won some
but
stuff, but it's
but for our team Canada, I'll come on.
yeah. So it's like I was following along in both chats, the ACL Canada chat and the ACL chat on Facebook, and two totally separate chats were going on there, and
Yeah,
I could tell that some people were getting a little upset in the American chat just because with the way the chat was going. But to me, it's to be expected. That's going to happen. It's the American side, and it is what it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're cheering on their guys like we are ours, right? So,
Well,
but
for sure.
yeah, it was a fun event to watch for sure. It's nice
Oh
to see
yeah,
all of our guys and girls that playing down there. So,
and I woke up this morning and I realized that this is the actual anniversary of the first Canada US thing that the ACL had. They had the first one in 2019 down in Pennsylvania, and that one was where it was Jamie Cowan and Scott Sullivan played. They played against a team from Australia, beat the Australians, and then they played against Cody Henderson and Adam Hisner, and same thing happened there. But it's
yeah,
we're getting better at this, and I think in the coming years that is going to get closer and closer.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is our first year with a pro division, so how long have the Americans had a pro division? So I don't know. I think we're doing good. I think even that was Jamie Cowan.
No, I think you're breaking up there. You're out in the garage. You're out throwing it in the garage. You can see the wing in it back there. So I'm not sure. He's
I think I just
frozen.
lost Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you lost. I've been on that garage Wi-Fi. You're back. I've had that Wi-Fi in that garage.
I turned off the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I had to turn it off.
But
The door's open too, which is weird.
yeah. So, but it's still it's when you look at the full thing, is the Americans have been doing this for how long? And then, like you said, this was our first year with the pro division. And I know I kind of messed up on the American chat there when I said that Doreen and Paul were only two non-pros, but there was Daniel. But the way that he's been throwing when he's at opens is he can be a pro no problem. I think all three of the non-pros there could be pros no problem. But Daniel and Lana threw well against Devin and Connie, and then as expected, I was on the, if anyone's heard the ASP show, I was on with them Monday, but then they put out today. And I said that if we were going to have a chance to win one of the games, that we were going to be in one of the games, it was going to be Connor and Paul.
Yeah,
right? Just from seeing them.
The Bush shot really well.
Oh, and again, it's one really bad round.
Yeah.
Right? And
that's the thing with those guys. Like you can give up to even a scattered 4, but a 6 against those guys is hard to get back from, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If you have anyone's got any thoughts they want to put in the chat, let me know. We may have some people from Rock Hill joining us. I'm not sure. I've sent some invites out. They said they may come on, but yeah, it's. I think going in, because for me it was just all of who the matchups would be in any of the doubles games, and I kind of figured that it was going to be Connor and JBJ playing against each other, Logan and Paul. I'm not sure if Logan was intimidated by Paul's size at all there, because he kind of kept him
only made twice the size of him.
Yeah, so. But Paul was just like we say that the one bad round, but that he was throwing lights out with that.
Yeah, he was shooting really well. I never even heard of Paul until when? What was the first Open? Calgary, I think. He was in Calgary, right? Yes.
I think he was. Yes. So he was in I think he was in Niagara, Calgary, and in St. John's.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him in Niagara, but I remember seeing him in Calgary and stuff. I guess smaller Open too. You'd see more people.
Mm-hmm. So I'm getting messages that people are having trouble connecting at the venue there. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of people trying to connect to the internet there, but yeah, it's. Like I say games were a lot closer. Yeah, we had a couple games. Like playing singles against Jacob Gore. I'm not sure how many of our players in Canada here were going to really have a chance against him with that, right?
Yeah, he's pretty decent player right here.
He's not too bad. Oh, we got. I'm not sure if we're going to get her. We'll see if she's in here. Amanda, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. You've got everything working there now. So,
I think so.
So welcome. Finally, well, you had your voice on the down and back once. Now we've got the picture. What was your thoughts on the event there today?
It was a lot of fun. The boards were much slipperier than the ones we've been playing on away from the court. So throwing those psychos, yeah, they were pretty fast.
Yeah, at least my bags made it to the live feed anyway.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's a Derek's.
Am I allowed to curse on the live feed?
Well, this isn't an ACL one. It's just on here, but Derek's sending me messages the whole time. He's like, "Oh, those bags look really, really good on the live feed, don't they?" I was like,
he had his bag and bitch too on live feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a dream there, Amanda. And you went to the moon twice. Like, I was so proud, right?
Yeah.
I text Spencer. I said, Alice went to the moon twice. I'm so proud of her right now.
I threw the first one long, so the second time I was like, okay, don't throw it as far, and then I never reached it.
At least you went for it anyway. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and then the blind draw teams is still going on here, so I had to leave. They were waiting on me, like all the other matches were over, and I made 2 airmails in that game, but I couldn't make them when it meant something.
Oh, man.
Well, it's a live feeling. So I guess I don't want you to put words in Doreen's mouth here, but just did she kind of give you any kind of, because that was one of the first times, I think that's the first time she's been on a live feed at all, because I haven't had her on any of my stuff.
Yeah, no, I played Doreen on the live feed at the Open in Newfoundland last year.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Doreen's been shooting really well all weekend, and I don't think she had any, she just acted like it was just a regular game.
Yeah, she didn't seem nervous at all. Seemed pretty good.
Yeah, no, we had fun. Yeah, she's been shooting really well all weekend.
I think your game, the score wasn't really indicative of the way the game went, because you guys went pretty long. Like, you guys went a bunch of rounds.
I didn't want the score to be 21-0, and we accomplished that. So that was my goal.
You got a point off Rosie. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I only hit the front of the board once, so just one.
That was for you, Doug.
Doug on the live feed. Doug, yeah.
Doug and Albert, they're my front of the board heroes.
Yeah, well, it's so. I'm kind of seeing a comment from Scott in the chat. What was the vibe in the venue? Because I know I was watching both chats. There was one was pro Canada, one was pro US. But what was the vibe like in the building there?
It was really good, and it was really fun. The very last match with Connor and Paul, we were all sitting behind, so it was like all of us. I'm sure they could see us, and there was a couple of Americans, and they tried to start the USA chant, and then Daniel jumps up and he tries to start the Canada chant. But it was very much fun. There was a lot of people there watching. I think it would have been more if the blind draw teams wasn't still going on, but we were about an hour and a half late starting that, so I think it took away from some of the people that would have been watching. So
easier to play in Newfoundland on the live feed with like 400 people watching around the court, or playing there in that event?
I think it was easier to play here in this event because I went into it with not very high expectations. In Newfoundland, you want to win because you're in Newfoundland.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they had combined. They were talking about like over 1,000 viewers watching those games. So there's you've got some sort of exposure out there. But I think you guys both threw really well. So I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah, they were talking about it possibly not starting right on time, and Connor was like, we have all of Canada getting ready to watch. Like, this has to start on time. We have to figure this out.
We were waiting all day everybody's waiting all day. People in the group they're messaging, I can't find it. Where is it? It's late start. Just wait. It's coming.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't have to go first. I was like, I don't want to be the first game or the last game. Stick us somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them.
Well, I'm hoping. I guess I know you've got to get back to your blind draw because you're still playing there. But we're going to see you in Ottawa for the
You're not playing.
Nationals.
What?
You're not playing Sit and Goes yet.
No. So my team went 5-2 in blind draw teams, and now we made it to the top bracket for a double.
No way.
I don't know if it's single or double. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yes, I will be in Ottawa for sure.
So, yeah, so we'll have you on the broadcast. You can talk on the broadcast in Ottawa. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good. And I'm
I'm
also
seeing-
been driving all this week. I will not be driving in Ottawa, so I'll shoot better.
You're driving.
Yeah, because we rented a car and I'm the driver. I mean,
Yeah.
I do have like one or two, but
And I'm going to say I've driven in Rock Hill a few times. Those streets there can get kind of confusing, especially right around that venue.
yeah, the venue has a lot of one ways. Yeah.
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 So, but yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bar now because
You head back and keep throwing bags. But thanks for joining us and jumping in here. And Michelle's saying taking her job being the on the spot reporter that we have from venues. So, but we will see you in less than a month in Ottawa.
It's only a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
I think it was great to be able to have her because she was saying she's having trouble connecting there, and I know that I've had trouble in that venue connecting as well. But seeing in the chat here, James, yeah, it did go as I expected as well. Of course, it's going to be a slow climb to catch the Americans, but I think we're kind of getting there.
I mean, even since I started playing, like my first year, you seen guys with 7 PPRs and stuff. You're like, man, that's crazy, right? And this year, I mean, how many people we had over 8s and lots of 9s and not 9s overall. It's only GM over 9, I think. But yeah, it was a big improvement.
Well, yeah, and you could even see some of the shots that some of the people were making. That some of the Americans were like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that."
Yeah.
Right. So, it's especially that last game was the big one. It was where we talked about it. That Logan was kind of like afraid of Paul, but even still afraid to say something. And even they had the smiles on their face afterwards, but it was still like we got lucky there.
Yeah. I thought they were going to finish him off there. Would have been good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But even some like the bully shots that Paul had made with Logan there, with a couple times where Logan's got the bag in the front, Paul knocks it off a bit to the left, and now Logan can't even grab it.
Yeah, it was good. Everybody knows Paul's name. Everybody in Canada knows Paul's name now for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's going to have the target on his back, but I can see him going for an ACL Canada Pro spot possibly in the qualifier that's coming up in Ottawa. There, yeah. Daryl saying that they were nervous, and yes, they were. And they're kind of looking back up in the chat there as well. Scott had made a comment about the comments in the U.S. chat, and from being part of this here with the Canada US stuff since 2018 when I was down there, because even when we were down there, we went down as a team of 6 of us. Yeah, there was 6 of us, and we playing in games where we're supposed to have 16 players, and just the comments we were getting down there about how we weren't the best, we were far from the best going down there, and then. But we've been growing, and it's going to be like that in any sport. When you get country, because Canadian chat was all pro Canada, U.S. chat, we know what that's going to be like, right? So,
and I mean, within Canada, there was a lot of really good players that weren't there that could perform. I'm not saying they could perform any better because that's not what I'm insinuating. But there's a lot of really other good players in Canada as well, right?
So, and really for an event like that, there we got to give Corey Ewart a whole ton of credit where he just found out the
Yeah.
other day that he's going to be part of this year because it was going to be Guillaume Morin, and then there's some issues with Guillaume not being able to make it down. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, Corey, you're in, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, right? So it's
Well, maybe it's even better that way because you don't get the chance to freak yourself out a little bit, you know. Good
true,
time
and
to,
it was Jevon C. Corey without the big headphones on either. He just had the small
Yeah.
little earbuds in.
Yeah. I don't think I wear
Right.
any earbuds when on that court. That'd be too much fun, I think.
Well, yeah, and I think that event is a lot of fun, and anytime
Yeah.
you've had any of the Canada US getting together like that, there, it has been fun.
Yeah. Maybe we should try to host one in Canada in one of the opens.
Possibly, yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, James, check your Facebook message. I'm not sure if you got that or not, but I was going to say that. And he's saying that it's a different. I'll put the comment up here. It's different when they go over to Michigan and play. It's a different attitude that the U.S. players have than us. And yeah, and I think some of those border places as well too. Their attitudes might be different because they have a lot of players that come over here to play. So you're probably getting a lot of players that aren't used to seeing anyone in Canada play that are making comments in there.
Yeah, I
Right.
wouldn't say like a lot of you don't see. I wouldn't say you hear much about Canada when you're in the U.S.
No.
For ACL Canada, I wouldn't think so, but not yet. Anyway.
Oh no, I think it is getting bigger. Especially Bernie and Brandon have done a lot for Canadian cornhole when they do go to the U.S. because they are some big names that we've got down there. And I know even talking with Jamie Cowan when he was on ESPN there was, I think they only had like 4 people that were actually, well, actually, no, 2, because only 4 of them that went down that year. There was only 2 people cheering for them in the stands, and you can see it in the video from there. But yeah, and
But I
then
mean, but every
go ahead.
year, I mean, you're seeing more U.S. players come to Canada and experience Canada, and everyone that I've talked to, like Yeti and Mike Ferrer and those guys, like they all love coming to Canada and playing. They enjoyed themselves.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Bobby, obviously.
Yeah, and to Scott saying that we all have stuff. Most of them all still have full-time jobs. Like we had one post show on a Saturday night here. Tanner Halbert was coming in, and we were talking with him, and he doesn't practice because he works. He works and then goes to tournaments. Works and then goes to tournaments. So it's it's a lot of the younger players that are just kind of full-time cornhole stuff. But a lot of the other players have still got families, and they're still working the full-time jobs as well. It's just the talent and I want to say the longevity of them playing down there that really is the separation right now.
I mean, if that's your full-time job, you're going to be a good cornhole player.
Yeah.
You still got to have some talent, I guess, but I mean, practice will get you there anyway, for sure.
Well, and even doing the live feeds, just the mentality of the play. The American players, when they come up, they are always going for it. They're always going like go for the airmail. They'll go and they'll take the points. A lot of the Canadian players will play a little conservative, and it's like Wally said it in Drummondville. # more airmails. Like he was wanting to see more airmails because we'll go and we'll not make that big shot to get a point. Right?
If the 2 points are there, that's my mentality has changed in the last little while. That comes with confidence in your play too, right? And if there's a shot there to go for an airmail, Spencer sees me lay up, he'll won't let me live it down, right? So you got to shoot it.
Exactly. We got Rammer joining us here. James, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. So you got to watch that, and so you were making comments in chat. You've gone over to the States to play and had the Americans come over to play in some of your events.
Yeah, I think if you haven't experienced it before, just their attitude of playing is just much different. Like you get the Americans come over here, the guys, oh, you guys are so friendly. and we're laughing and we're joking. And honestly, sometimes it is not like that at all when you're playing there.
No.
We go over and play at Great Shots a lot, and we've gone over and played in Port Huron a bit too, and they just play different. Like it, I don't know how else to say it.
Well, it's like Michelle said, she was just down in Canton at the Open down there, and she's like, no one looked like they were having fun.
Yeah, like they,
like
I'm
she
not
said there
sure
was a couple games where she went and was trying to say hello to the person, and the person was like, "Why are you talking to me?"
Yeah, I'm not sure if you just say like they take it more serious than us, because I mean we play, like I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
But if I'm lined up with Derek, like we're still gonna shoot the shit a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but
Sure, Amanda even gets you smiling when you're playing, Jim.
yeah, I know it's terrible. I hate it. But yeah,
Sure.
they just have a different attitude, and I think that they've played longer. They've played at a different level. I wonder, and I've had these conversations before with people. I wonder if at some point, like, does our attitude change a little bit? Does it become a little bit more competitive? Like, I hope the fun stays in it, but does it become more competitive on the boards? Does that change the attitude and how some people see it? I don't know.
For me, I don't think it's going to.
No,
Like,
I don't.
I enjoy playing guys like you and getting to meet up every couple months and play. Like, to me, it's enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, then I probably won't do it. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't mind doing it as a full-time job, but it doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. So
No.
Well, I noticed for myself, just in our 4 opens that we had this year, it started the Canadian players, especially some of the pros. You guys kind of went and started really slow, but then by the time we got to St. John's, I was seeing more airmails. Like I'm trying to go over highlights to give, and I'm struggling to get. Like I'm seeing, we're getting 4 baggers or someone's getting points, but it's just a slide-in shot. By the end of the year, there's more airmails. There's more kind of more shots that they wouldn't have taken at the start of the year. So I'm thinking we can get there. It's just a mindset that we have to change.
yeah, well, if you got 2 points, you got to go for it. Especially in the pro divisions and stuff. Like, if you just got to go for it. If you got a chance to get 2 points, go for it. You hit it or you miss it, and sooner or later you're going to start hitting them. So confidence in your game is big.
Yeah, like obviously
Huge.
our game is we're still evolving, right? So like you said before, we're worried about sliding it in and that's it. Or you might see a little bit of a block push game, and then guys started getting good at airmails. Now we're seeing guys throw really slow bags, set up a block, and try to throw roll bags. In the States, they can. In a lot of those pros down there, they've already developed that game. They're already playing that game, and we're just starting to get into where guys are starting to work on roll bags and throwing slower bags, so they have options to cut and roll and do these, other shots other than the traditional slide, block, push, that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, we're behind them. I don't know how else to say it. Like it's that simple. They've been playing longer than us. You see it when their players come to our opens. They're ahead of us. But I mean, we're just keep working on our game, and over time, eventually we're gonna catch up. I mean, there's only so many shots you think, right? Like I'm not sure what else is gonna happen here.
yeah, there's only so many shots to make. So once you get good at them, it comes with time and practice, and once you start playing against guys that are doing those shots, then you think, well, I need to develop that shot to keep up with that guy, right?
Yeah, like I know for me, I used to block and push a ton. So I know, like when me and Corey would play doubles, I would try to take the player that would be, more just running the hole and try to slow him down, muck it up. But then eventually for me, like that didn't work anymore because guys just started banging airmails, or girls just started banging airmails, right? So the slide or the block push game wasn't always there. So then I had to learn to I got to be able to throw the bag in the hole more. Now I started working on airmail. Like it's just going to take time for us to develop the all-around game, and it's still going to take time for players, even some of our pro players, to develop what is my best path to winning games. Is it a block push? Is it set something up so I can have shots at airmail? Am I going to end up being a block and a roll guy? Am I going to hope that they throw blocks and I throw rolls over? Like there's so many different strategies, and I think that even our pro players are still trying to figure out what is the best strategy for them when they come to the board.
That garage Wi-Fi went out again, Derek.
I'm on the Newfie internet now.
No, but and we talk about and I talk about how I said about how like I felt I could see everyone getting more aggressive. Even talked to some of the American players coming up, and they were the ones that were in because there's some that went to every Open in Canada, and some of the ones that were at the first one in Niagara, and then in St. John's were like, there's been a total change in the mentality of some of the throwers in Canada. That games in January in Niagara were easy. They weren't having those easy games by June in St. John's.
Right. That makes sense. Like we've seen a lot of Steve Gray and Jordan Brown at our regionals, and then they traveled to. I think they went to all the Canadian Opens.
Yeah, Jordan went to all 4. Steve went to 3. Jordan went to all 4.
Yeah, Steve missed. Did he miss Newfoundland? I think.
Yeah, he missed. Yeah, he missed St. John's. Yep.
So we played with them a lot through the whole season, and just like when they first came over, like felt like they just throttled everybody, and then it just kind of slowly people developed, and again, it's developing the other shots or changing the strategy. Like this hasn't been working for me. I need to start doing this. Like everyone knows when you lose a few games in a row, you know what you've done wrong, and you know what you need to change. And again, we're just growing. Like players are still trying to figure out what is going to be their game, how they're going to win, and what their strategy is going to be when they come up to the board. So it's going to take time. Like we're going to see, probably I'd say another year, maybe 2 of what we saw with the Canada USA matchup. Like probably going to be 1 or 2 more of those. But again, the first time they went out, like it wasn't as good as this time. This time they were making some shots. Like Paul hit some big shots. Connor was really consistent down the middle. The girls played well. Daniel hit some nice shots too. So it's just going to take time to develop. That's all. And we're only going to get better. Like maybe you probably see more plateau in the U.S., right?
Yep.
Whereas we're still growing, probably at a higher rate than them. So it's just a time thing. We just got to keep working, and we got lots of events now. There's multiple opens, and we're just going to keep growing it. We'll be fine. We're just going to take a little time.
And I think the other thing is in Canada here, we need to not be afraid to play the better players. Because I've been to so many league nights where people want to say, "Oh, I want to stay here because I know I'm going to lose against this person." Well, you know what? If you don't try and beat them, you never know. Right? Like it's the more you throw against better players, the better you're going to throw as well.
Yeah, like we talk at our. Go ahead, sorry, Derek.
Yeah, for our league. I mean, you want to play Dion. Dion's the best player here. You want to play Dion, see how close you can get to him, and every now and then you get squeaking a game off him, but that makes you a lot better player. And now I've been playing a little bit with Andrew and stuff. Like Andrew's developing the roles and stuff, and it helps everybody. The better players you play helps you so much faster too.
We kind of came up with a formula at our league nights to help the lower end players and the higher end players continue to grow. So we play 8 games a night at our league, but we play the first 4 games and then we split by PPR. So in your second half games, you're always playing competitive games, right? So we could split it that way. And then your second half, you play 4 more games, but you're playing at a competitive level. And I think that's what needs to happen. You need everyone to grow. You got to play competitive games, like Derek's saying. Like if you're in Newfoundland, you want to play Dion. Like if you're around here, you want to play one of the top players. You don't want to. I don't want to necessarily play against someone brand new. I have fun doing it and teaching them and talking cornhole and getting them involved in stuff. But as a competitive player, like I want to play the best players I can play. That's the only way I'm going to get better. I'm not going to get better by shooting on an open board, right? Like you got to play the game.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like Kimberly Oakley here said, and she's like a couple minutes late from seeing Amanda on here talking, but they did great considering how long. You still have to look at how long we've been playing here in Canada, right? Like it's maybe we had the big boom coming out of COVID, but then still it took another 2 years before we really started going, in a top level. We're year 2. They're the Americans are year 14.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like we're still ahead of Europe. So if you think about it, we're still ahead of Europe, in compared to years playing. So it's going to take a while. Yeah, the Americans are going to be taking us out all the time, but you look at hockey, right? It's people say, well, the comments that they were making, well, watch probably a hockey live feed and you're going to get the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like we can just we'll keep growing here, and then maybe next year maybe it's a win or two, right? And then somewhere down the line, the series that they play there is going to be competitive either way. Like it's going to happen. Like just again, it's just going to take us time to get there. That's all.
And we've got the one American in the chat that showed up, John Clark, but I know that he has been a big fan of Canada for a while. So, but yeah, we're gonna get there. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a while.
The Americans never sent out just anybody either. They sent out some really good players, right? Like,
yeah,
like some top tens in the world, whatever. But
like it wasn't 10 guys just getting off the couch. Like it was.
no.
Right, like like they did their qualifier last year at Worlds. So the people that made Team USA this year are going to be playing it if we have another one here next year. But then we just did our qualifier. It was just the people who showed up in St. John, so we didn't really have like a full cross Canada qualifier, right? So we'll see if we do that there, if it grows next year with qualifiers and whatnot. But
I wonder if it would be something we could play at the Nationals every year. Maybe where we would have, I don't know if that would be a better spot to put it. Do we have more of a draw from people across the country at an event like that? I'm not sure.
I think that'd be the perfect time to do it, because it's, or you could have maybe people qualify to get to a final qualifier at Nationals, possibly. I don't know if you do it at all the opens, but there's just you just have to find some way to be able to get all the great players in.
Yeah, maybe if you do a small one, like even say you're doing in St. John, every open you do one, say top 10 get to go play off in Ottawa, or wherever the national is, something like that. So you get more people to go, right?
Yeah.
So get into your national. So something like that might work.
That'd be good.
Exactly, like Joe Harsh, big American guy, saying, we let's not forget, we almost took out JBJ and Logan. Like we came within a point, and Derek and I talked about it early. How many times have we talked about it? It's just one bad round that you have, one bad bag going either way, and that's the game.
With those guys, you just can't have a bet. It's just those lopsided ends. It's those 5s or 6s that just it's tough. It's tough to come back from.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to get momentum back too when you give one of those up, even if you have the lead. You give up a 5 or 6 and it comes back to you. Grip that bag a little tighter, thinking, man, I gotta be real good now, right? So, yeah, it was good shown by the boys. Connor and Paul played great.
Exactly, and just before you came in, like we were talking about Corey. How hard was it for him to just find out when you're down there that, hey, you're in on this? You're playing Jake Gore.
I don't even know what his schedule was. I think he might have flown in today, or maybe he got in yesterday. I knew he flew out of Buffalo, but I don't know what his schedule is like, when he even got there or anything. He could have literally got there this morning or around lunchtime. I don't know. So yeah. Hey, you're playing Jacob Gore. Here you go. Good luck.
Yeah. But he made the change. He didn't have the big earphones on.
Small ones. He's got small ones now.
Okay, well, I'm used to seeing him with the big earphones in. I'm like, oh.
No, just small ones now.
But it's he still got a couple points on Jake, which is good, because I know we got Joe and John watching in the chat, but I'm gonna guess that probably most Americans that started watching that exhibition stuff, this is gonna be 21-0 every game, right? And I think going in, we kind of knew we got some throwers that are gonna be there that are gonna get some points.
Yeah, I didn't catch all the. I don't think I caught the first couple games, so I don't know how well we did in the. Maybe I missed mixed doubles.
Yeah, mixed doubles was finished up 27-9. So Lana and really looking, I was trying to keep track of the points, and I'm looking there. Those rounds, like the rounds there were for Connie and Devin, were like the first couple were like 12-7, 10-8, 10-9, and then Lana picked up a point, a 10-9, a 9-4. So they weren't really there was some crooked numbers up there, but they weren't real big crooked numbers that some people may have been expecting.
And then Harbaugh hit the M1 double drag, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's kind of
Massive
hard.
shot.
It's kind of hard to come back from that.
Yeah. By the
No,
way,
and
Devin,
then
Devin's won every Open, hasn't he, in the last 3 months or something?
that's what it almost feels like. But even Joe's saying, like, even give Connor credit that he did a good job coaching, because he's probably been the one with the most experience going into that, being in that level, because playing on the American teams last year, had a lot more live feed experience, a lot more experience against some of these players, and for Connor for helping them out, I think it's good on him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, again, it's just it takes some time now. All those guys have that experience of playing in that event, right? So one or two of them end up there again, and then mixing some other guys or some other girls. Like, it's a great experience for us, but we're just going to keep growing. So it'll take a little bit, but we'll get there.
We're coming for you, America.
well, it's like I keep saying, we're off, but we're not far off, right? We're gonna slowly get there, but we're gonna get there at some point.
Like, I think I caught Derek saying earlier, when you look at someone and they would throw a 7 PPR before, and you're like, whoa, and now it was like 8, and now it's like you can throw 9.5 and still lose. Like, guys are throwing 10s and whatever, right? So I mean, you can see the growth as I think I've been playing for 2.5 years, I think, somewhere in there, and like you would see open winners with like throwing 7 PPRs. Now, like, you throw a 7, you want to score a point.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna grow. Just, again, feel like I'm keep saying the same thing, but it's just time.
Oh yeah,
time.
For sure. And Steve Poole in the chat saying, we will get there. The ones that practice will make a huge difference. He was down there that first year with me in 2018 when we were like, whoa, we're not as good as we think we are. But it's just that we're gonna get there. It's gonna take time once we get the full country playing. And I think next year we're going to see another big jump in growth next year.
I think like a big thing for me was this is my second season playing, and I was expecting myself to beat players that have been playing for 5-10 years or whatever. Maybe not competitive playing, but they've been playing. And you put unreal expectations on yourself way too early, and you put pressure on yourself, and then you play like crap. So that's what happened to me in Niagara. I put a pro jersey on with the Niagara, thought I was going to win, and put way too much pressure on myself. Now I'm just going to have fun, throw bags. So I'm playing a lot better than I have because of that. So
yeah, I felt the same thing at the start of the year. I won some regionals, like both in singles and doubles, and I just like I don't know, I just couldn't keep it going. And then you start, holy, what is going on? Like, do I even know how to play this game anymore? So again, we'll grow. I think another big thing for us too is for the growth is having the multiple opens and playing like a lot of the higher end players that we have now at some point experience playing one of those top US players coming over. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think that's where you're going to see growth too, or maybe where those guys and girls play today, maybe that's not as seen as the biggest stage as it was before, where it's, bright lights and on the live feed at this, that, and the other. All the higher end players now at some point here have played on the live feed, or they've played against, I've lined up with Gavin Cano and Needstead and all those guys, right, at some point playing. So you got to experience it a few times before you can, get over that nervousness or that level of play. And again, having all the opens this year and having multiple US players come up and having a really good group of Canadian players kind of travel to all of them and have lots of good competitive games everywhere, that's going to help some of those players a ton, having that experience.
Yeah, the pro division will make all the difference for Canada, I think, for sure. It's a big step.
And I can see our pro division expanding as well this year, possibly, just because we've got so many great players up here that are starting to come out, because we've always had, because let's kind of, I don't want to say be real, but we kind of have to face the facts that up until really going maybe halfway through last year, ACL was predominantly just in Ontario, right? Newfoundland really started to kind of kicked in more once we got the Open there. We've now gone to the West a bit more, so it's kind of been just those small players playing against each other. We're now branding out, and we're seeing some other players come in.
It's a timing thing. Like you can see the leagues and you see the Opens and the conference numbers and everything's going up, right? So we're growing, and we just got to keep on that same path and try to get more people involved and just keep going. There's going to be someone next year. This time we're going to be talking about this stuff, and there'll be someone that we don't even know yet.
Yep.
It's going to be a high end elite level player going, these guys should be, this player should be a pro, right? So we'll just keep going. Just got to keep doing what we're doing, grinding it out, find some new players, and help out at all levels, local, regional, and just keep growing. And we'll keep finding these players, and we'll keep developing.
Exactly. It's been 2 years now since Trey Ryder said on this show, we haven't seen the best player in Canada yet. We're not going to see them for 5 years. That was 2 years ago. So we're still 3 years away from possibly seeing one of the best, right? So
yeah,
it's
we got to do our part, Doug, to, in the words of Don McPhee, grow the game.
He's gonna love that you said that. He's gonna absolutely love that you said that and mentioned his name with it.
Yeah, I said it just for him.
Well, yeah, we're heading on 5 o'clock. I want to thank you guys both for coming on here, doing this here little talk afterwards, because I think some of the people may have been down with the showing or what the scores were, but they were not unexpected. I think we knew kind of going in what was going to probably happen. We didn't embarrass, none of our players embarrassed themselves with the way they threw. I think they all threw great, and it's our time is coming.
I agree.
100%.
So hey guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to have another live feed before before Worlds is done, but we will be going live again Saturday night with another live hangout Saturday night, because that's really what else is there to do when there's no cornhole going on a Saturday night. Sit and talk.
I'm at a horse show in Springdale.
You got
that's what I'm doing.
You got that hobby horse competition that you're going to. So
I'll be at a wrestling show in St. Catharines.
Okay, well then, you got that wrestling background as well too, right? So it's So see everyone in Ottawa. That's like what? I'm looking. That's 2 weeks. Tomorrow is 2 weeks away that we start nationals here. The 22nd to the 25th in Ottawa. Hope to see everyone there.
Big things out of you, Rammer.
I was just going to say, Captain, I'm going to practice right now, just so you know.
Yeah, just get in there. I need 2 hours a day for 2 weeks. Let's do it.
All right. I got you.
Yeah. We got the captain of Calgary in Newfoundland and one of the players in Ontario. So it's yeah. So see everyone Saturday night when we hang out and talk some more cornhole.
See you guys.
All right.